Oh, 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 oh. Hey, yeah. So, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are in the world, and welcome to my show. And today I have a good friend of mine. That's how it started out, a friend. Actually, she's my wife. And today we're going to tell you a story, and it's the story of how we got together. As tomorrow will be our wedding anniversary. So in the show, I thought it'd be nice if we could tell you a little more about our family, how it all started. And here we are. We're in the studio today, and we just want to lay it on you.
Hi.
So I'm Monte Cagle, and just in case you don't know.
I'm Teresita Cagle.
And I'm African American. I'm from South Carolina. And Teresita?
I'm from Aruba, the island in the Caribbean, off the coast of Venezuela.
A very beautiful island. Well, today we want to tell you how we got started. I won't say many, many years ago, but years ago, I worked in the islands, in the Caribbean islands, as a volunteer missionary. And I was working in the French islands, Guadeloupe and Martinique, and as a volunteer, Christian volunteer. And we'd been in the islands for like 2 years, I think about 2 years I was there, and we wanted to take a furlough, have a little break, and it just so happened that our center, our mission center, was in Puerto Rico, and the island of Puerto Rico, beautiful, beautiful island in the Caribbean, close to the U.S. It's American territory, and we took our furlough there. There was 3 of us. I was there with 2 other guys, and we came back. We went over to Puerto Rico, and I'd been there about a week, more or less. And my friend that I'd worked with in Martinique and Guadeloupe said, "Look, there's a mission home where there's a lot of young ladies there, and I have a very good friend, and maybe you'd like to come with me this Sunday." And it was a free Sunday. I didn't have much to do. I'd already had time of worship, and it was afternoon, and well, about midday. And I went over to this home with my friend. And when I got there, sure enough, there was his girlfriend and some other young ladies, Christians, volunteers who were there. And I was there talking, and they were talking, and I, young man I was, I still looking at, just checking the girls out. But I kept hearing this other young lady in the background. I kept hearing, "Hey, are you going to take the kids down to the beach?" And I'd always hear, "Sure, I'm coming." And then somebody was, "Hey, the kids, they want to go." And a lot of the young ladies there were single mothers, and so a lot of them had like 1 kid each. And it was her particular day to volunteer to take the kids out for outing. They would like go to the beach or whatever, or to the park or something. So she was in charge of that, and she was going to take them out. So I kept hearing this voice, "I'm almost ready," and I hear kids, and after a while, this voice sounded so nice and so nice, and I wonder who this is, who this voice belongs to. So sure enough, about after 15, it took about 15, 20 minutes, and the voice got louder, and out of the room stepped this gorgeous lady, young lady, and I was mesmerized. I was like, wow. And it just so happened she was going to take it by herself, But it was a little too much that day because I think it was like I had an extra kid or two that needed to go with her. And she's like, hey, would anybody go to the beach with me, help me with the kids today? And well, I guess everybody looked around and I said, hey, wait, I'll go. So I volunteered. And I'll let you tell, she'll tell you this, what happened after that.
Okay, well, yeah, like he said before, it was my day to take the kids out to the beach. We were living really close to the beach, like about a block away. And yeah, the kids were, you know, rowdy, running around. We were looking for towels and, you know, toys and everything like that. So when I said, is anybody available to go to the beach with me? There was this stranger sitting in the living room, and she volunteered and said, yeah, I will be going. I can go with you. And I'm like, who are you? I never saw him before. He just came for a visit with a friend that day. And so I said, oh, yeah, okay, why not? You know, it would be nice to have extra hand with the kids. So, yeah, we went to the beach that day. And yeah, the kids played and we had fun. And while the kids were playing with their toys and while we were watching them, we had a chance to get to know each other, you know, talk about, yeah, where are you from and what's your name? You know, what do you do and where do you come from and all that stuff. So yeah, we got to talking, and it was a really nice day. We made contact and everything, and then the next week we saw each other again at another mission where we used to do skits, plays. We had a disco, and we would invite people over to the disco, and it was like a Christian outreach, you know, where for young people, and we were all also very young. And so every Saturday we would have like a disco, and I would go there and he would be out there playing music, and sometimes I would take part in plays, and then we would basically, you know, spend time talking to each other and getting to know each other more, and that's how we got to know each other a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it was really nice. She was a very nice person, and I just gelled with her, you know. I just felt so good in her presence, you know, every time I would see her. And it got to be for me like a real good, you know, just like, wow, I'd like to see her again. And so we got to be fairly good friends. And so finally, I had to leave. I wanted to go to Jamaica. I had worked in Jamaica before, and I was asked if I would like to come and help out. They needed an extra hand, and my furlough time was pretty much finished in Puerto Rico. And so I said, sure. I went to Jamaica, and in Jamaica there was a mission reach we had in Kingston, and that particular outreach there was reaching a lot of young people, schools, kids out in the street, and we were basically telling young people about Jesus, how to know the Lord, how to get saved, and how to live a Christian life. And at that particular time in Jamaica, and it still goes on to this day, there are a lot of street kids that have been abandoned, or they belong to orphanages that it's so many kids they can't take care of them so well in a lot of cases. And so that particular time, I was helping there. I would help provision food or get donors, like businesses who we would present the need, and they would donate clothes or food or things like that to help out in our youth mission there. And so a lot of kids would come there and off the street, and we would feed them. You know, like they had no place to go, some of them, and it wasn't big enough that we made an orphanage, but we would try to do special events for the kids, and we'd have little programs at a very nice man. who had he was a horticulturer, and he had this huge grounds where he grew flowers and things like that. And so he donated it to us to use to have classes with the kids. So I went there to help out, and I would do programs with them, and I would sing with the kids in our little team, and we'd feed the kids. So after a few months being there in Jamaica, I always kept in touch with her. We would not so much, but regularly. For like once every couple of weeks, I would write her a letter and say hi, what we're doing there, and then I think she just, I don't know, she became interested in coming to Jamaica too. And so about 3 months later, she came to Jamaica. I was elated. I was just totally excited to see her, and there we got to be a lot closer, still on a friend level, friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to be very close, and at that particular time, she did also have a little son, a little boy, and I got to be close to him too, and we would go out together to the zoo and here and there, and I felt it was like a real nice experience every time I would go with her and him on an outing on the weekends, like we had a free day, and so I got even more closer to her and her little son, and it was this wonderful time for me in Jamaica. And then the more closer I got to her, the more I thought, wow, I really like her, and I would like, I didn't want to approach her as like trying to start a relationship, because she'd just come out of a relationship that wasn't so nice, but I was just her friend, and I liked the little guy, her little son, and I used to go out, we used to go out together to talk to kids, and I'd take them on my back, on the backpack, we'd go out and we'd talk to the young people about the Lord, or people about Jesus, and we just worked quite a bit together. But after a month or so, a few months there, I just really wanted to be closer to her than just a friend. So I took the plunge, and I was thinking, I told her one day, I said, I really like you a little more than a friend. And I was thinking about, well, I would love to marry you. And then I let her tell you that part.
Okay. Well, one day, he came to my quarters, and he said, I want to talk to you. I said, okay. He said, I've been thinking about this and that, and we talked a little bit now. And then he said, I would like to know, would you marry me? And I was shocked, because I told him, but you're my friend. You can't marry your friend,
Oh,
That's
God.
what I thought, because, when you're single, or single mom, or single girl, you get sometimes, people who are, approaching you, and I wasn't ready for another relationship. As I said, a son, and I had come out of another relationship. So I just really wanted to have friends, and I just really wanted to be his friend. And I thought, oh no, I really want to just be friends. I'm not really ready for something more serious or committing myself. My son was only 2. So I told him, well, you're really a good friend, but I would like to stay friends, I didn't want to hurt him or make him feel bad or anything like that, because he was really a nice friend. We used to talk a lot, and it was really fun to go out with him and spend time. But sometimes you got really close friends, and you can feel you can talk and say things to each other, And sometimes my idea was, as soon as you know, get married, the friendship stops, because that's the way sometimes things happen. But it doesn't always have to be like that. But at that time, that's what I thought. So I said, well, not really. I would just want to stay friends. That's what happened.
So after the conversation, I was like, okay. And I went to my room, and my little heart just shattered. But I think the Lord had His hand in that, and it was for a good reason, and it all worked out. You know, everything works together for good to them that love the Lord, right?
That's right.
And so I just said, okay, you know, I just gave it to the Lord. You know, I just really prayed, and I said, you know, it's really true. You know, we just need to be friends right now. Who knows? So I said, okay, Lord, I put it in your hands. And that's one of the reasons why we tell you this. I want to tell you this story because God always answers prayer.
That's true.
And He always gives you the best. Even though things look a little dark at times, there's always a good outcome that's going to come in the end.
That's true.
So sure enough, she said that, and I was like, crushed. But I said, okay, I'm serving God, and I want to keep going. I'm not going to be discouraged, and all things work together for good to them that love the Lord.
That's right.
And so at that particular time, we wanted to send a team out, like a little scouting team to Haiti. At that particular time, we were just sending missionaries out through all the islands and trying to share the love of Jesus with the young people, because we were basically young. You know, we're all in our early 20s, our late teens.
That's right.
And so we were thinking of sending a team to Haiti. I always had a desire to go to Haiti. I spoke French, and I wanted to see what it was like. So another young friend of mine in our mission group said, hey, look, we can go to Haiti together. I'll go with you. And so we went to Haiti. So this was shortly after I talked with her, about a week or two after I talked with her. And we went to Haiti in a little team there. We stayed there about a month or so. And while I was there, and while we were there, not her, but just me and my friend, she left. She left Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow. When I got back to Jamaica, which I came back, she had gone back. She'd gone to, I think she went home or to visit her family or something. And from that particular day, I didn't see her anymore. I wrote her a lot, and I don't think she ever got any of the letters. I wrote her mom, because I think she was to visit her mom. I wrote her home. She didn't get one letter, right, that I wrote. And that first year, I think I wrote her almost like once a month, you know, for a year. And I thought, okay, well, she just probably met somebody else, or she was doing something different. I had no idea where she was. So 5 years, I had no contact whatsoever with her over a period of 5 years. I never got a letter from her. I never knew where she was until about that fourth year, more or less. I got a letter from her sister. I knew her sister, and I would write her sister sometimes, but I just like once or twice over the 4-year period. And about that 5 years later, I was talking with a friend of mine. Now this time I'd gone to Senegal, West Africa, as a missionary also. And I was talking to one of the co-workers one time, and a lady, you know, she had a couple of kids, and her husband and I were just talking one night. And they said, hey, you know, you're getting pretty old. You're getting in your mid-20s. And those, you know, when you're 20, you think you're just, oh, wow, you know, when you start getting near 30. And I said, well, you know, I've met a lot of girls, and I've had some people that I'd like to work with, you know, and maybe I was always looking for somebody who really loved Jesus and wanted to live a life together for Jesus, you know. And so I said, well, over the years, I haven't found anybody I really would like to be with. And the only person I ever really, really loved, I think I really feel that I could really like to be with, was a girl I met 5 years earlier, Teresita. And I said, I don't know where she is. I don't know what she's doing. And I like, God, that's the only girl, I would really like to marry that girl. That was I really liked her. So I guess it started like a catalyst. It was like that day, I really started thinking about her a lot, and I was like, I wonder what she's doing, and blah, blah. So this actually happened. So that night, around about that night, late that night, I was really thinking about her, and I started praying for her. And I thought, Lord, if she's alive, or if I don't care if she's married or whatever, I really loved her, and I think she was a very nice person. And I started praying for her, and I started praying for her, and I started praying for her son that I knew, and I said, Lord, if it's possible, I would like to know at least where she is. Now, it's so funny. 2 weeks later, I got a letter from her sister. Mm-hmm. And this is 2 weeks now after I said this prayer, and nothing for 5 years. I was in a magazine. I was in a Christian magazine, and her sister got this Christian magazine on the other side of the world, right? And there was an address there, so I got a letter from her sister. And she said, "Hey, hi, I'm over here. I think she was in South America too, at that time." And she said, "Guess, my sister, she's still, Oh, 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 oh.